Welcome to Evolution in a Nutshell, the show where our indentations are as non-existent as my personality. My name is Goon Noah.
My name is Mysterious Ghost Bottom Rider Sin Valentine. If you like what you see here, I strongly recommend checking out the Evolution channels linked in the description. If you'd like to see more of me, Noah, or Pin Valentine, feel free to check out our personal YouTube channels, which are also linked in the description.
With that out of the way, let's get invited to EVO. We have all been deceived. While the Biome Buddies begin to rise to prominence, we have all been lied to. It turns out that the property police are still standing. They are hiding underground. This is both metaphorical and literal, as Solidarity had dug out a secret property police hideout beneath the Biome Buddies base.
So this is the little place here, alright? It's just a simple little area. I've gone for the property police theme with the stone, okay? I've got some glowstone lighted up. I've got the property police logo on the wall. I know the P's are a little bit short. They should be one more down, but it just looked weird, so I didn't do it.
The plan is as it was in the beginning, to retrieve the coordinates of all the evolutionist bases and keep track of their work. Maybe the evolutionists can forgive Timmy though. He's been working on Bargain Bay, which is to be sort of an outlet mall where the players can purchase shop buildings of their own and sell less granular items.
Netty Plays continue to work on their floating island base, which is starting to slowly take a turn for the better. What started out as a grotesque series of islands standing on dirt pillars now has a working nether island and a rail system for easier access. Though an odd path of dirt currently supports the rail system, it's better than piles of dirt cluttering the area. Sorry, Minnie.
Salem's Lady added a potions room to her growing base, which is found to be barely used. But perhaps some good fortune is in store for it. This is because she took her turn at the trick-or-treat event inside of the Jack-a-Pear, and she didn't fall into a pit of lava as a result.
That's so cool! Oh, it was a tree! We picked a good chest.
Last week, System Z built up a beautiful Halloween costume shop in the Guys of a gruesome pumpkin. He sold a number of costumes, but due to copyright fears, he could only sell cheap knockoffs, such as the costume Jimmy bought called Your Favorite Minecraft Builder. I'm not saying that the costume looks like Korean, but the costume isn't quite complete without a block of TNT in hand. Perhaps the best and most meme-tastic part of the build was the spooky, scary skeleton song played on note blocks when a purchase was made.
Oh, I love that so much. Let's listen to it again.
This means that the pumpkin-themed costume shop was not only more aesthetically pleasing than the Biome Buddies Jack-o'-Pear from a few weeks ago, but it also has a better voice too.
What? It's spooky skeletons on the redstone. Z, why are you so clever?
A series of unfortunate events started the past week, and no, I'm not talking about the series on Netflix, when a chest randomly showed up at the center of the new spawn. Inside was an invitation to each evolutionist for a dinner party hosted by some mysterious individual named Bottomsworth.
Dearest friend, your presence is requested at the manor of Alfred Bottomsworth. There will be a delectable 5-course meal, fine wines, and desserts you won't be able to finish. Please bring your sharpest wits and your finest clothes, as it will be a night of laughs and business. Signed, the Bottomsworth Estate.
In the Littlewood, Netty Plays, Solidarity, Bigby Stats, System Z, Salem's Lady, and Pearlescent Moon took up the invitation and arrived to the mansion on Halloween night.
They were greeted at the door by Mr. Bottomsworth's butler, Gerald.
Welcome and good evening, one and all.
The butler.
The party settled down for a fancy meal in their fancy dresses and waited for Mr. Bottomsworth's arrival. While they were waiting, the butler screamed out.
Is this both? Oh.
Wait,
Ah! Oh no!
What?
What's that?
What's happened?
Butler, what's up?
he's burned the food!
Wait, should we stay here?
Oh goodness! Oh gracious! Oh no! Master! Please! Somebody help! Help!
Shall we?
I don't know. Do we stay here?
I don't want to move.
I'm scared.
I don't want to
I'm scared!
What?
Sorry.
Please, somebody help! Master Bottomsworth has been murdered!
No.
What?
So the butler did what could only have been the only logical solution. He recruited 7 completely unqualified Minecrafters to solve this murder.
Will you help me in solving this most heinous of crimes?
Absolutely, yeah.
Sure.
I'm down.
I mean,
The party then split up Scooby-Doo style and suggested by Martin, and each pairing investigated one of the 3 suspects, the butler, the chef, and the gardener. Jimmy and System Z teamed up to investigate the butler. They followed Gerald the butler to Master Bottomsworth's bedroom, where the butler's room was adjacent, and there they found a number of suspicious clues.
They first found a journal kept by Gerald the butler which outlined a possible motives. The master's butler was feeling unappreciated in his work. They also found a secret room above the master's bedroom where Gerald had been secretly practicing his brewing. What's more is there was a brewing stand in this hidden room with 2 bottles of poison still in it, which means the third was missing. There you have it, a missing poison bottle and a motive. The butler seems to be the guilty party.
That is, until you consider the gardener. He was investigated by Bigby Stats, Pearlescent Moon, and Salem's Lady. They went together into the garden, where they first met with a hedge maze. On the other side was a chest under a gazebo, inside of which was a greatly used shovel and a mysteriously clean hoe.
Recently used shovel.
Ooh,
What?
recently used shovel.
Suspiciously clean hoe and shit.
I mean, for a gardener, wouldn't you think that they would use this hoe?
You would have thought so, yeah, you would have thought.
Suspiciously clean. But then you've got a recently used shovel.
This must mean that the gardener recently dug a pretty large hole. Which he did. What could such a large hole be used for? Perhaps a rich investor? But where's the motive? Now's when I pretend to hear you screaming at your computer monitors, which you are likely not actually doing at the moment. Well, Bigby, being suspicious of a carpet-shaped plot of dirt among the flowers, found a dirty love letter. The gardener had been keeping on a secret romantic relationship with Master Bottomsworth's daughter for quite some time, but the master was not fond of this, so the gardener had to do something to be able to freely love his love.
It's not looking great for either the gardener or the butler, but there is still the question of the chef. Nettie and Martin took the suspect head on. The pair found a scorched receipt in the chef's oven. With that and 2 letters to a weaponsmith named Benedict, they concluded that the chef's motive would have been the master preferring fast food over the chef's home-cooked goodness. I don't blame him. Have you ever had Chipotle? They also found a used kitchen knife in the meat locker. In the letters to Benedict, the chef did hint at putting the knife to good use. So I hereby predict the chef in the kitchen with the butcher's knife.
Once all had concluded their investigations into the suspects, they met together in the dining room to discuss the discoveries. There was obviously some confusion as to who the killer still was. All 3 had motives and the ability to carry out the evil deed. So, who could it have been? The present evolutionist took a jumping poll. As a result, they collectively guessed the gardener. They were right. The gardener was the killer after all. The things one does for love.
Until the police could arrive to apprehend the murderer, the evolutionist locked him up in the meat locker. Considering that Martin and Timbo are the only police in the area, I assume that the gardener will freeze to death before he can be arrested and sent to jail.
There's still one major question remaining. The gardener may have killed the Master Bottomsworth, but what was the suspicious cow's role in all of this?
Martin,
Yeah?
there's a suspicious cow staring at us through the window.
He's like, I heard there were potatoes. I'm so glad you chose to come off of beef. Have you seen my wife Matilda? I'm awfully worried.
Because it's hurting my tummy. Well, we've got a murder to solve here.
The world may never know. Well, that pretty much does it for this episode of EVO in a Nutshell. My name was Goon Noah.
My name was Mysterious Ghostball and our writer was Sin Valentine. Again, I encourage you to take a look at all the Evolutionist channels linked down below. You will find a lot of great videos from all of them that we haven't shown here. You can also find Toon Noah's, Pin Valentine's, and my YouTube channels linked there as well, so come check us out if you like what you see here.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll always know when EVO in a Nutshell gets remade 20 years from now. We also have a Discord server and a Twitter, so head on over there so we can all get invited together. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye!